If food is causing my brother to stumble, I would not eat flesh even into the aeon, so that I would not cause my brother to stumble. 1 Corinthians chapter 9. Am I not free? Am I not a sent one? Have I not seen Yeshua our Lord? Are ye not my work in the Lord? If to others I am not a sent one, yet at least I am to you. For the seal of my senthood are ye being, ye in the Lord. Mine own defense to the ones examining me is being this: are we having not a right to eat and to drink? Are we having not a right to be leading about a woman, a sister, even as the rest of the sent ones, and the brothers of the Lord, and Kephah? Or I only and Barnabas, are we having not a right to be working not? Who is being a soldier by means of his own support ever? Who is planting a vineyard and is eating not its fruit? Or who is feeding a flock and is eating not out of the milk of the flock? Am I speaking these things according to man? Or is not the law also saying these things? For it hath been written in the law of Moshe, Thou shalt muzzle not an ox treading out grain. It is not that it is mattering to the God particularly about the oxen, is it? Or for us in every way is he speaking. Yea, for us it was written, because the one ploughing ought to be ploughing in hope, and the one threshing to be threshing in hope of partaking. If we sowed among you the spiritual things, is it a great matter if we shall reap of you the fleshly things? If others are partaking of the right over you, should not rather we? Nevertheless, we used not this right, but all things we are bearing, so that we might give not any hindrance to the announcement of the anointed. Have ye known not that the ones working the sacred things are eating the things out of the temple, and the ones attending to the altar are together receiving portioning by means of the altar? Thus also the Lord gave order for the ones proclaiming the announcement to be living out of the announcement. But I have used nothing of these things, and I wrote not these things so that it might become so in my case. For it is good to me rather to die than that anyone shall make void my glorying. For if I should be preaching the announcement, a glorying is not being for me, for a necessity is being laid upon me. For woe is being to me if I don't preach the announcement. For if willing I am doing this, I am having a reward. But if unwilling, I have been entrusted with a stewardship. What therefore is being my reward? That, preaching the announcement, I should lay out the announcement free of charge, so as not to use to the full my right in the announcement. For being a free man from all men, I enslaved myself to all, so that I might gain the more. And to the Yehudim I became as a Yehudi, so that I might gain Yehudim. To the ones under the law covenant, as under the law covenant, not being myself under the law covenant, so that I might gain the ones under the law covenant. To the ones destitute of the law, as destitute of the law, not being of God, a one destitute of the law, but of anointed, a lawful one, so that I might gain the ones destitute of the law. To the weak ones I became weak, so that I might gain the weak ones. I have become all things to all the men, so that by all means I might save some. And I am effectuating all things for the sake of the announcement, so that I might become a joint partaker of it. Have ye known not that the ones running in a race course all on the one hand are running, but on the other hand one is receiving the prize? Thus be ye running, so that ye may attain. And every man striving in the games is exercising self-control regarding all things. Now they, on the one hand, so that they might receive a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. I consequently now likewise am running, as not uncertainly. Likewise I am boxing, as not beating air. But I am bruising my body, and I am leading it as my slave, lest somehow, having preached to others, I myself might be unaccepted. For I am not wanting you to be being unknowing, brothers, that our fathers were all being under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and all became baptized into Moshe by means of the cloud and by means of the sea, and all ate the same spiritual food, and all drank the same spiritual drink, for they were drinking out of a spiritual rock following them, and the rock was being the anointed. But with the most of them the God was not well pleased, for they became strewn down in the wilderness. Now these things became our examples, for us to not be being desirous of evil things, just as those also desired.